Rest in peace, Jennifer and Alice. No, they're not dead yet, but they will be. Also, what does that have to do with Agatha being immortal? What up, witches? And have I got a theory for you? I am pretty much certain that Jennifer and Alice aren't making it back from the Witch's Road. Jennifer's the potion witch. She's the water sign. Alice is the protection witch. She's the fire sign. And that is why they're not making it back. Why, do you ask? And what does this have to do with Agatha being immortal? How can she be immortal? Let me explain. When Jennifer goes to make the potion, she cannot make it turn blue. Cerulean. She cannot make it turn blue. And she's mixing, and then finally, one of the steps of that particular poison was that the loss of body function, so she couldn't use her arms. So she tells Teen to mix the potion. And all of a sudden, it turns blue right away. Also, the Teen's powers, as we've seen in Disney's preview, is blue. So he would be the water sign. He would be the potion witch. Then you have Alice. Alice, her power is red. The house was red. The lights were red. And there was fire all around her. And she's a protection witch, obviously. Her mother gave her the song as her protection spell. She drew circles around the people to protect them from this generational curse. But you know who's a whole lot better at protection spells and sigils? This woman right here. So now, instead of it being Jennifer and Alice, they will be replaced by Wiccan, who it will come out that he is Billy Kaplan, Wanda Maximoff's child, and Wanda herself. Now, we see pentagrams pop up a lot, and we see it in the end credits. We see it when they're conjuring the Witch's Road. It's there. Now, the pentagram has the 4 elements, which we've heard about it. Gather, witches, earth, fire, water, and air. So we have air, which is Lilia, water, which is Jennifer, earth, which is Mrs. Hart, and fire, which is Alice. So where does that leave Agatha? Right up top. She's the spirit witch. Now, there's a hierarchy to these elements. Spirit being the highest element of the hierarchy. Then we have air, and then water, and then earth, and lastly, fire. So now, if Agatha is spirit, which is the highest on the hierarchy of the elements, she cannot die. She already told Rio, you're not allowed to me. During the past 2 trials, the first time, the poison did affect her, but I really don't think it was going to kill her, because she was in no rush to make this antidote. She was still going to see her cradle with the Darkhold in it, and she was beside herself, and they're trying to hurry her up, so obviously she goes along with it. But she didn't seem to think it was too much of a threat. Last week, when we were dealing with the generational curse with Alice, Agatha was the last one to get affected by it, and she does so while she's singing. Now, where everybody else was writhing on the floor in pain, she kept singing and kept going through it as if it wasn't as bad for her. Also, everybody else had to have the circles drawn around them to get rid of it, except her and Teen and Rio. So that leads me to believe that even though she can get the symptoms and she can get the hexes, she cannot be killed. So my theory is that these 5 characters are immortal. We see Agatha in the middle, which is the highest of the hierarchy, the spirit, because the spirit element is the gateway between earth and heavens. So she's that in between. So she's immortal because of that. Then we have Lilia. Lilia is the most slept on character in this show. Keep in mind, on the Witch's Road, you have Jennifer who's bound. You have Alice who has no realization of her powers because she never believed she had any. You have Teen, who we've already seen conjure up a remedy, an antidote to a poison. And we've seen Rio, who, when she crawled up all zombie-like out of the ground, conjured up a flower and blew it at Agatha. So she can use her powers on the Witch's Road, as can Lilia. Lilia may have glitchy powers, and she may not be able to tell you exactly what the premonitions are, or when they're coming, or remember them, but she still can access them on the Witch's Road. I don't think that's a mere coincidence. I happen to think Lilia is immortal because it's funny. In the last episode, they're talking about scars, and everybody's talking about Agatha's scar on the elbow, and more importantly, Rio's scar being Agatha. But we come in on the conversation of Lilia talking about a vampire and being bit by a vampire, and how she hated him at first, but now. That's the important key right there. If she was bit by a vampire, she may actually be immortal. And even age-wise, you look at them, and God bless her, Patti LuPone looks absolutely gorgeous, but the character of Lilia is the oldest one there, and they make note of how old she is. So I'm thinking that she's immortal. Then we have Death, who's obviously immortal because they're Death. Who's going to kill her? She's the one who takes people. So that's why she's immortal. Scarlet Witch is the Scarlet Witch, and if she can survive after Doctor Strange 2 and the crumbling of the mountain, and if she's still alive, that means she's immortal. Now here's the thing with Wiccan, or Teen. Let's just call him Teen. Teen can break the spell of the Scarlet Witch. The only time I've seen that done was when Agatha was absorbing Scarlet Witch's powers in the end of WandaVision, and she was snapping people out of the hex so that they could tell Agatha how they really felt. So my theory is, if he could break the spell put on by his mother, then that means he's immortal too, because he already died in WandaVision, so to speak. He wasn't supposed to be alive. She lost Vision, she lost Tommy, and she lost Billy. So if he's here, that means he's immortal. So unfortunately, I think we are losing Alice and Jennifer. However, when Wanda does come back and Wiccan is proven to be who he is, I think further down the line in the MCU universe, they are going to be a coven and a force to be reckoned with nonetheless. So that's just my musings and things I come up with at 5 o'clock in the morning. Last night, this is what I did. So if you like my video, hit the like button. If you agree, disagree, or have anything to add, hit that comment button. And as always, follow me for more Agatha All Along content. Later, witches.